So we do the chanting on page 16 in Pali. Yoso Bhagava Arahant Samma Sambuddho Swakato Yena Bhagavata Dhammo Supatipanno Yassa Bhagavato Sāvaka Sangho Tammayam Bhagavantam Saramam Sasangam Imehi Sakalehi Yataraha Aropitehi Avipujayama Sadhuno Bhante Bhagava Suchiraparini Bhutopi Pachima Janatadikam Pamanasa Ime Sakale Dugatapanaka Nabhute Patiganhatu Hamhakam Digarata Hitaya Sukhaya Arahant Samma Sambuddho Bhagavam Buddham Bhagavantam Abhivate Swakato Bhagavata Dhammo Dhammam Namasami Supatipanno Bhagavato Sāvaka Sangho Sangha Namami. Handamaya Buddhasa Bhagavato Pubhavaganamakara Karumase Namo Tassa Bhagavato Arahato Samma Sambuddhassa Namo Tassa Bhagavato Arahato Samma Sambuddhassa Namo Tassa Bhagavato Arahato Samma Sambuddhassa Andamaya Buddha Nusatinayam Karumase Thakopanam Bhagavanta Evam Karayano Kiti Sato Abhugato Iti Piso Bhagava Arahant Samma Sambuddho Vija Charana Sampano Sugato Lokavidu Anuttaro Purisa Dhamma Sarati Sata Deva Manusanam Buddho Bhagavati Handamaya Buddha Vigiting Karumase Buddha Varanta Varata Diguna Biyuto Sudha Satitana Vanda Mitam Sirenaha Buddha Sahasamidha Siva Buddho Me Samiki Saro Buddho Dukkha Sagata Chavigata Chahita Same Buddha Sahaniya Sariran Shivitan Chita Vandanti Hamshari Sami Buddha Se Vasudam Nitam Nati me saranam manyam Buddho me saranavanam Hitena sachavajena vadaya Satu sasane Buddha me vandamane Yayam punyam pasutamida Sambepiyantaraya me mahesum tasate dasa. Handamayam dhammanusatinayam karomase Swakato bhagavata dhammo santitiko akariko hehi pasiko opanahiko bachatam veditavo vinyuhiting Handamayam dhamma bigiting karomase Swakatata digunayo kawase naseyo Nomagapaka pariyati vimukhapedo Dhammo kuloka patana tatadhari dhari Vandamaham tamaharam varatam mamitam Dhammo yosabapaninam saranake mamuttamam Dutiyandu satitanam vandamitam sirenaham Dhamma sahasamida siva dhammo me samikisaro Dhammo dukkha sagata chavigata chahita same Dhamma sahaniya sariran shivitam chitam Vandamti hamshari sami dhamma se vasudam matam Nati me saranam manyam dhammo me saranam varam Etena sachavajena vadaya satu sasane Dhammam me vandhamane yayam punya pasutamida Sambepiyantaraya me mahesum tasate dasa. Handamayam sangha dusatinayam karumase Supatipanno bhagavato savaka sangho Ujupatipanno bhagavato savaka sangho Nyayapatipanno bhagavato savaka sangho Samicipatipanno bhagavato savaka sangho Yadidam chatali polisa yukaniya tapolisa pugalam Esa bhagavato savaka sangho Ahuneyo pamuneyo dakineyo anjali karaniyo anuttaram punya ketam lokasati. Handavaya sangha vigiting karumase sadhammajo supatipati guna viyuto yota vido ariyapurgara sangaseto sila dhamma pavara sayakaya cito Wanda maham tamariyana ganam susudam Sango yosa bapalinam saranam ke mamuttamam Tatyanu satitam nam vanda mitam sirenam Sangha saha samida siva sango mesa mikisaro Sango dukkha sagata chavigata chahita same Sangha sahaniya demi sariranchi vitam chitam Vandanti ham charisami sangaso patipanatam Nati me saranam manyam sango me saranam varam Etena sacha vajena vajayam satu sasane Sangham evam dhammane yayam punya pasutamida Samvepiyantaraya me mahisumta atedasa. Sitting. Meditate.
ब्रह्म च लोकाधिपति सैंपति कथंजलि अंधिवरं अयाचत संसिद्ध सत्ता परख जातिका जैसे तु धम्मम अनुकंपिनम पदम.
Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Buddhang dhammam sangham namasami. Oh, the chair. I'm okay, thank you. Yeah, thank you. So, hiding away there. So, besides the teaching of the Buddha, the question that comes to mind is, what do we want to meditate? Good question, isn't it? Because during one's life as a nun and as a practitioner, we have to come across life in a monastery, life as it manifests in one's mind, body. And I meet many meditators, many practitioners who may be expecting something from practice, which might actually prevent them to do the work they have to do when they become interested in meditation and the Buddha Dhamma, by perhaps expecting from this practice to give them a kind of heavenly world where all the problem will be resolved, left behind possibly, where the mind can continue to use its usual mode of dealing with life, which means when things are difficult, we either want to ignore them or to push them away, get rid of them. Or if we like them, then we get really hooked on the practice that gives us what we like, what we enjoy, like peace and brightness and lightness and radiance and freedom from all the heaviness of the mind, so that the mind can become light and happy. And so you can see that as we start practicing, we encounter the world straight away. Straight away you have the mind that is sorting out the thing I like, let's go there. What I don't like, let's get rid of that. It's so easy, isn't it? It's just like your mind continues to be dealing with meditation as it deals with the world.
का प्रश्न आपने किया कि हम क्यों ध्यान करना चाहते हैं, तो बताया कि जैसे उस प्रश्न के कई तरह के उत्तर उनको मिलते हैं। बता रहे थे कि जैसे मोनास्ट्री में कई साधक आते हैं और साधना से उनकी क्या एक्सपेक्टेशन है, जब पूछते हैं तो कईयों की एक्सपेक्टेशन ये होती है कि इससे स्वर्ग का प्राप्ति होगी और वहाँ पे सारी प्रॉब्लम सॉल्व हो जाएंगी। लेकिन मन जो है उसी हिसाब से चलता रहता है कि जो मन की स्थिति अच्छी होती है, रेडियंट होती है, तो बहुत एंजॉय करते हैं, बहुत अच्छा लगता है। और मन की स्थिति अच्छी नहीं होती तो किसी तरह से उसको छुटकारा पाने की कोशिश करते हैं, उससे भटकने दूर भागने की कोशिश करते हैं। तो ऐसी अगर मन स्थिति बनी रहती है तो हम साधना में भी वही मन स्थिति लगाते हैं जो कि ये सामान्य जीवन की हमारी मन स्थिति रहती है।
So after that, maybe somebody tells you that it's not the way to go, and you feel completely maybe, oh, I've gone all wrong, my practice is not on the right track. Maybe you continue to accumulate somebody who is not doing it right. As you did perhaps before you came to a monastery, or you came to a retreat center, and maybe you came to a retreat center or monastery because you felt you were not doing things correctly, not on the Dhamma level, but just on a worldly level, on what we call the worldly winds, dealing with praise and blame, with fame and defame, with love and hate, and then with success and failure, these kind of worldly winds. Yeah? So maybe you couldn't, it's very difficult to cope with these aspects of the mind and worldly Dhamma, what we call worldly Dhammas.
और फिर जब ऐसा होता है तो फिर हमको कोई बताता है कि ये तो ठीक नहीं है, और फिर हम मोनास्ट्री में जाते हैं और वहाँ कोशिश करते हैं कि समझने की, क्योंकि हमें लगता है कि हम जो कर रहे थे ठीक नहीं कर रहे थे। हम जो लोक धम्म है, सफलता असफलता, प्रशंसा और लाभ हानि, तो इन सब को हैंडल करने के हम सोचते हैं कि कैसे हैंडल किया जाए।
Yeah, that's finished. Okay. I just thought maybe you want to have the light, to switch the light on for you. Yeah. And so, we, for a long, long time, we are practicing the Dhamma, be known to us with a sense of things will just might disappear, my problem might disappear, or my weakness will just disappear as well. People will like me, I will become a nice person, much more friendly, much more friendly person. There's a sense of hoping for deep improvement program, which is not completely, false. But as you travel, as you practice within your mind, you find that all these worldly dhammas are still there. Praise, when you do something good, you think, oh, this is quite anapanasati has gone really well for about 5 minutes. I feel very, really pleased with myself, and then you start going through the hindrances, and that's a disaster. That's a complete oh my God, I've lost it really for good now. I get angry still. I get my meditation is distracted. I'm losing my mindfulness all the time. So that's kind of failure. Success, failure. Continue. Then we, and then somebody. You tell somebody about your experience of meditation, and they get really impressed, how wonderful, you must be half enlightened. So you don't quite disagree because you don't want to give them a bad idea about how prideful you are or how deluded you are by thinking you were not far from Buddhahood. And you know, and then of course, if somebody tells you meditation is all wrong, then we take it terribly personally, right? I've seen you sort of, you know, falling asleep, or I've seen you were distracted. So, you know, people can be really good at pointing out other people's weakness, you know.
फिर एक ऐसी परिस्थिति आती है कि लंबे समय तक ध्यान करके हमको ऐसी उम्मीद होती है कि सारी हमारी परेशानियां दूर हो जाएंगी, हम बहुत अच्छे मनुष्य बन जाएंगे, एक तरह का अपने को इम्प्रूव करेंगे, एक सेल्फ इम्प्रूवमेंट प्रोग्राम चलता है। ये पूरी तरह कोई गलत नहीं है, लेकिन जैसे हम प्रैक्टिस करते हैं तो देखते हैं वही लोग धर्म में प्रैक्टिस में भी आते हैं, कभी सफलता होती है, कभी असफलता होती है, कभी लगता है हमारी आनापान सती बहुत अच्छी हो रही है तो लगता है बहुत सुख होता है, और जब सफी हिंड्रेंसेस आते हैं, कुछ निवारण आते हैं तो लगता है मेरा ध्यान तो अभी भी भटकता है, अभी भी मेरा मन टिकता नहीं है, तो वो असफलता की बात लगती है। तो इस तरह से हम वही एटीट्यूड, उसी एटीट्यूड से काम करते रहते हैं। फिर कोई ऐसा मिलता है जिसके अनुभव हमको लगता है बहुत अच्छे हैं, कि वो शायद करीब आधा पूरा मुक्त हो गया है, और फिर वो हमसे कहता है कि वो ये तुम्हारी मेडिटेशन तो बिल्कुल गलत है, ये इस तरह से नहीं होना चाहिए। और फिर अजान बताती हैं कि दूसरों की गलतियां बताना तो बड़ा आसान होता है।
So sometimes we divide our meditation practice with our everyday life, don't we? On one side you have the formal practice, of course, on the other side you just have life, living everyday life. And if you realize that in your meditation you do actually have the similar life going on, but sometimes it's not so easily accessible, because it's more, it's underneath all the thoughts and so on, perception, and it's more at a level of feeling that we don't always access, you know, access our praise and blame, our love and hate, our success and failure, the sense of success, the sense of failure, you know, and then you have, you know, sort of that kind of thing, right? It's underneath many things, you know, many layers of the mind. We don't always see it very clearly. So we can spend hours looking at thoughts, looking at feeling, looking at mood, looking at, you know, anicca. And sometimes we're looking at it, but we're not seeing it. To be careful. We can look and look and look, but not actually see the characteristics of what that the Buddha is pointing to, you know. So when you practice, from talking with you, from going through the session of question and answers and so on, I'm aware that you have a very kind of lively inner life, you know, lively life inside you, you know. It's pretty energetic and lively, which is good. But at the same time, the difference between this incredible liveliness and sharpness of thought and so on, and then sitting on your cushion and doing nothing, you need perhaps a little bridge somewhere. One is kind of shutting down everything, and the other one is you get really excited about just living a life, you know. And there are many things in life that really excite us, or agitate us, or, you know, create in us a sense of restlessness and stress, you know. So we think, oh, meditation is good, but really my life, I can't cope, I can't meditate in life, right? Yet the same thing happened, you know, in both levels. And I think most of us have meditated for so many years. I'm not talking to beginners, practitioners, you understand? So I'm talking to people who have really already had a lot of experience of meditation and a lot of experience of maybe the mistakes one can make in meditation, maybe you have been already through the disappointment and the disillusionment and so on. So you're not just newcomers, And what I'm interested in myself is just to be able to bridge this illusion that we have that meditation is going to improve our life, in such a way that it's going to be controlled and free from problems, free from troubles. I've seen that in myself, I've seen that in others, We're surprised when people still step on your feet and mistreat you. We're surprised when life doesn't give you what we want, what we like. We're surprised when people misunderstand us and don't want to give us what we deserve. Or what we think we deserve, which is even maybe more difficult. So when we realize that, then Buddha Dhamma, can give us some clear direction. What is it to? What are those worldly winds that are agitating the mind so often? The fear of failure, the desire to succeed, the fear of not being loved, appreciated, anger when that doesn't happen, the anger and the irritation and the rage sometimes, when people don't appreciate you for what you are. So that's all these feelings, it's just life. It's not just your personal feelings, do you understand? It's life, the world coursing through the mind. For a long, long time, we take this feeling as a very personal possession. Because a personal possession, then we get swept away whenever it's disturbed. Whenever that possession is treated badly, we get treated badly too. We're treated badly. When our thoughts create problem, other people can become the targets of our problems, right? We start projecting onto people. We start making them feel their fault. It's their fault, not my fault. It's not my responsibility. There. So this is the kind of thing we do again and again. Unbeknown to us, we keep going back to that same thing with a fear to be accused and mistreated, and we hope that people can accept us, and love us and appreciate us. So sometimes you become monks and nuns, some people think they're going to have a special treatment, it's quite difficult actually to navigate through the robe of a nun or a monk, because at first we have also the sense of having to have a responsibility, You represent something, you're not just alone anymore with an individual doing what they want. You become somebody who is part of a group and part of a community and representative of this community. You're not just... So you have a responsibility that maybe you didn't have before. And many people who come to the monastery, men or women, they tend to be quite quiet, and we've had also some very strong nuns, I'm one of them, but, very strong extrovert type, and confident and, having had many other experiences before coming to the monastery. But even though one might be confident, the ego, when you tackle it a little bit, it's not that confident, The ego is just, a compact, construction of fear, desire, and all the thing of the kilesa, all the kilesa that we know, the long list of kilesa: envy, jealousy, misery, sensual desire, anger, frustration, resentment. I like the one to be, somebody who is overpowering. It's one of the kilesa, overpowering. Because many people have an overpowering personalities, but they don't see it as a kilesa. And it's one of them, it's a personality that is, you don't do it. It's not like you try to be overpowering. It's just you have an energy that's overpowering, And I remember finding this in the list of the kilesa, and I find it very helpful, because really, when we meditate, we deal with energies that are very powerful, you know, and you don't know what to do sometimes with these things. Your mind is quite big, and you know, you come into a place where you have a huge energy, you know, and you feel you could squash people like a little mouse, you know, like a little, you know, as an energetic body. To be careful. Sometimes you're not aware of this. I haven't found many people like that, you know, because our training is quite refined these days, and we try to turn ourselves more into a little kind of mouse somewhere. But at the beginning at Chithurst and Amaravati, where the nuns were more kind of younger and as well, and much more quite energetic and so on, you had really strong personality type, you know. So it attracts also in Theravada Buddhism. We notice many men that very kind of quite, you know, like to be alone, and quite introverted men. You know, it's not a lot of extroverted. You know, they couldn't probably survive in the Buddhist tradition, where everything is so restrained. You know, and so kind of the training itself requires such a degree, such a high degree of restraint and you know, refraining from being too outgoing, you know. So this will be difficult. We notice that, you know. And for the women, as I said at the beginning, it was more difficult, because there was this, we didn't have a very formed Vinaya and strong personality together, you know. So that was, you know, that it was not so easy to have lots of energy to work with. I mean, lots of energy, very energetic people around. But that was not so easy to handle when you don't have yet a good training, you know. So what I want to point out to, you know, after all the discussion we've had, the question and the sharing of many of you, is that it's maybe time now, maybe that's why you meet the forest tradition, time to really bring together life and the world and you and meditation, and actually, because you can't avoid it in some ways. You're neither monks nor nuns right now, you're not in the forest with you know, with the animals and the trees and so on. You're in daily life, you know, in daily life with your family, with your parents, with your work and so on, you know. So that requires a kind of meditation which is addressing those situations, rather than feeling that to address them you have to retire to a forest monastery or be sort of you know, staying away from the situation. You know, how can you practice staying in the situation? You know. Because in a way, in a monastery, you also have that same feeling. When you're surrounded by so many people, it's like a big family with lots of activity and lots of things to attend and so on. You know, and sometimes you feel. I mean, I don't think many of us will still believe that you can only practice if you're on your own, but it's just more peaceful when you're on your own. That's all. You know, it's not just a better condition. It's just easier to handle one person than 5 or 6 or 10 or 15 or 20, you know. So when we are in, you know, are practicing, you know, sitting or walking or, you know, in a formal way, remind yourself that life continues. We're not here to suppress it or to. It continues. In fact, Ajahn Sumedho used to really help us so much by, you know, reminding us that if something, for example, was difficult, you know, to think or to remember or to actually bring it up into consciousness, like clearly, like, you know, in Technicolor. He used to tell us that in Thailand, you know, he used to do this practice and he had the capacity to, you know, making it really interesting with things shifting and colors and so on. You know, he could actually have the capacity through his concentration, I guess, to create, you know, a little what you call a board, like a publicity board. Like with, I can't stand Henry, maybe just pretending somebody you don't like somebody. So instead of pushing it away and frightened of it, you put it right in front of your face and you say, I hate my mother. And he used to give us a gap, so to teach it to us, with a gap in between. Be really aware of the gap. Do it slowly. Maybe it's not a good thing to say in India, I don't know, but maybe I hate my dog. Easier, isn't it? That will go down more easily. So I hate, breathe in, breathe out, breathe in, my doggy. Okay? And what he taught us, and that could be helpful for you, I don't know. It was very funny, of course, already. Already you had come to the level we don't need to practice, a lot of settling down to get all restless. We were relaxed already. Ajahn Sumedho was great relaxant, And then after you sort of had a space, and now you do it 10 times. I mean, that's easy with a dog, but find somebody. I'm going to make you do this exercise with some official person that you really will never dare tell that person that you hate her or him. Yeah, just be careful. I don't want any problem with your family, right? But do it with something that's fairly safe, can I say? And then you will do it. He will say, do it 10 times, and after that, all the feelings have gone. Everything is gone. It's cool. It's cooled down. Remember, Nibbana is cooling down. So he gave us quite a lot of tips like that to see Nibbana in a short version. Oh God. And inside, if you had a way of saying that, it's too slow, I hate my dog, you're doing very slowly, slow motion like this, And then it's amazing how it will diffuse, because in community you have, now it's kind of more settled. Our community are to me, all through my experience for nearly 40 years, I can see it's a kind community in general. It's quite respectful. People are very, very sort of polite and very more mature. They have good teachings. They get good training and so on. So everything is gentler, But in the early days, my God, you will have amazing crises, and things flying around and people shouting at each other occasionally, in private usually, but still you will hear about it, Occasionally, not very often, but and so because of that, Ajahn Sumedho will help, to kind of look at this in a very conscious, mindful way, concentrated, mindful, in slow motion. We had characters in the early days at Chithurst. Like we had somebody who used to go Pindapat in London. Not allowed to, really. But that's what he started. People had certain ideas of what was he should be doing. They were not following the monastic tradition as we know it now. You had some character, had very strong views and ideas, and they wanted to do Pindapat. They couldn't do it, so they just organized themselves to go to London to do Pindapat from Chithurst, which was about an hour and a half, from Chithurst. Quite extraordinary, isn't it, what we've been through? We had people coming. I remember there was an American, just to give you a little bit of an idea of the context of this work we were doing, because I could help you also. That we would have people coming from America, and they will be Taoist, So they commune with the trees and spirit and so on, and they love to be in a Buddhist monastery because the energy is good and so on. So eventually we this American, we set up a little caravan in the forest. We thought it was better to have him in the forest since he was communing with all the nature spirit. And then, we could irritate each other so much, by having all these kind of weird characters coming up, and with a mind that is really so focused on doing the right thing and the good thing and training properly and so on, when you begin, you're a bit of a tyrant on yourself. I used to say jokingly, a sweet little gentle nuns, it's not the case so much now, but because the experience, we have much more experience now, but, you put a sweet gentle, say, oh, she can do that office or something, she can look after the store or something, Within a day she was torn on, she turned into a complete Hitler, from being really benevolent and kind and so on, by the time she had responsibility, suddenly this sense of persona of having a role will turn her into this kind of dragon. You were really shocked. It happened very often, It's normal. I take it as a normal thing, that you take on your role so seriously that you lose all perspective of humanity around you, Anyway, so I still remember this Taoist coming to Chithurst, because one night we were at the little nun's cottage, it was 10 minutes away from the main house in the forest, really quite isolated. Right? And at 2:00 in the evening, we hear this, there was a chant we used to chant called Bahum, it's a part of one of those blessing chants, quite a long one. And suddenly at 2:00 in the night, we hear Bahum, Bahum, and we're just 4 nuns in that cottage, I thought, oh my God, what's going on, So we were quite frightened, And it was this person was saying that he was possessed by a tree spirit, 2:00 in the morning, And so I remember 2 of us, were on a kind of landing on the first floor, waiting to see what would happen. Another nun went down to maybe see if who it was and if she could open the door or not. And another nun, older than us, was halfway, still in her room, and said, "Oh, just give him rock roses," which happened to be one of those flower bark remedies. I don't know if you've heard of them. Yeah, well, rock roses, So that was kind of funny. We just had a funny life, really. And in fact, it was this man who had been coming from the forest, possessed by a tree spirit. So he asked us if we had a cross to sort of dispirited, I suppose, to just exorcise him, And I'm telling you this story just to tell you, to make you realize how some people could get really annoyed with these things, or angry and upset, to be so disturbing, blah, blah, blah. But, so there's lots of material to work on what Ajahn Sumedho was asking us to work on, My main material, which was very famous, was one nun's, it's very famous, I've told the story many times, it's like, suddenly when you get angry, you never think you're going to get angry about the way people cut onions, And I used to say, don't just expect anything from the practice, because it's another thing that a kind of situation you can have in situation where suddenly you get angry about nothing. Nothing. If you were living a normal life, you wouldn't even notice somebody's cutting onions, in a different way than I was used to. With that kind of situation, that kind of energy level and practice, you would, suddenly seeing her cutting the onion the wrong way, I felt like, doing something really horrible to this person, just for an innocent nun trying to prepare a meal for all of us. So, you can get really hard and irrational, irrational. So when Ajahn Sumedho was giving us these tips, you can see that there was plenty of material to just how to deal with this one and that one and that one, so we'll do this slow motion kind of meditation with the eyes open or the eyes closed inside our mind. So, for example, if I gave you right now an example in your life, for example, you don't need to share it with anybody. You don't need to talk about it to anybody. Okay, you keep it confidential with yourself. And see if I give you the exercise of bringing up something that's really difficult for you, not too difficult. I don't want to destroy your evening, but just something difficult to think about. It could be, I don't know, I don't want to be reborn as a frog. Anything. Joke. Whatever you're frightened of. Close your eyes gently. Something that brings a lot of emotion, a lot of feelings. It can be anything really. Something that fills you up. Every time you think about it, you get a rush of energy, of emotional energy. And then you start seeing it in a slow motion with a long gap in between each word. You have to find something that is really emotional in you to see how the fire can cool out. And then when the fire has cooled down, you can open your eyes, not at the same time, all of you. You do it whenever you have noticed the fire of emotion just cooling. You can open your eyes when the fire has cooled down. Waiting for the other side there. You can open your eyes. I can see the fire is still raging, is it? None of you have opened your eyes yet. This whole side had opened their eyes early, and here it was like... Did it work? Did it work? Yeah. So you can see that's another skillful means you can use to deal with emotional troubles, Simple tip like that, simple things means can help us a lot, beside meditation practice, sitting on a cushion. Yeah. That really certainly helped me enormously. It's so nice just to have a mean that can help you to see the end of something, because in Buddha Dhamma you can see the aspect of cessation is really essential to witness that things do cease, It's like the way you get to Nibbana, it's like allowing little by little to, the fire of greed, the fire of desire, the fire of anger, the fire of delusion to cease. It's nirodha, to come to the point of niroding. So maybe I asked Mr.
अजान कह रहे थे, आगे बताया कि कई बार हम अपने सामान्य जीवन को और साधना को दो हिस्सों में बांट देते हैं और उस कारण से एक गैप आ जाता है। हम ये भूल जाते हैं कि मेडिटेशन में भी उसी तरह के अनुभव आते हैं जो सामान्य जीवन में आते हैं, और ज्यादा काफी वेदना के लेवल पे, और जिस तरह से सामान्य जीवन में प्रशंसा और अपयश, यश, सफलता असफलता होती है, वही बात हमारी साधना में भी चलती रहती है। हम कई बार बहुत लंबे समय तक अपने वेदना को, मूड्स को देखते रहते हैं, लेकिन देखने में और समझने में फर्क है। शिव सिंह, कीप ऑन लुकिंग एट इट बट डोंट सी द फंडामेंटल कैरेक्टरिस्टिक्स, उसके 3 लक्षण नहीं देख पाते ठीक से। तो आप कह रही थी कि जो हमारे प्रश्नोत्तर हुए और बातचीत हुई, उससे उनको लगता है कि हम अधिकतर लोग यहाँ पे काफी लाइवली और एनर्जेटिक जीवन जीते हैं, और ऐसा लगता है कि क्वेश्चन पे तो बैठे हैं तो कुछ नहीं कर रहे हैं। तो ये जो गैप है, इसको कैसे ब्रिज किया जाए ताकि एजिटेशन कम हो, बेचैनी कम हो। और कह रही थी कि आप सबने कई वर्षों तक साधना की है, कईयों ने, और अनुभव भी हैं, सुखद भी दुखद अनुभव भी हैं। दिक्कत यह है कि हमको ये इल्यूजन रहता है कि अगर हम साधना ठीक से करेंगे तो जीवन में कोई परेशानी नहीं आएगी, और ऐसा नहीं होता, क्योंकि लोग फिर भी हमको गलत ट्रीट करेंगे। जीवन जो है हमको सब कुछ वो नहीं देता जो हम चाहते हैं या जो हमें लगता है कि हम डिजर्व करते हैं। जो लोक धर्म है, 8 लोक धर्म, वो सब वही हमारा जीवन है सबका, वो चाहे साधक का हो या साधना में हो या सामान्य जीवन में हो। हमारी सक्सेस होगी कि नहीं साधना में, फेलियर का डर लगा रहेगा कि हमको लोग प्रसन्न नहीं करते, प्रेम नहीं करते, इरिटेशन, एंगर, ये सब चीजें साधना के दौरान और सामान्य जीवन में भी आते रहते हैं। दिक्कत ये होती है कि हम उनको एक पर्सनल, वी टेक देम पर्सनली, और उस कारण से डिस्टर्ब हो जाते हैं। ये नहीं देखते कि ये विचार आया है और ये मेरा नहीं है, और हमेशा दूसरों को ही दोष देते रहते हैं। और फिर यही लगता है कि अपने में भय होता है कि हमको कोई दोष देगा, हमको कोई गलत व्यवहार करेगा हमारे साथ, और ये उम्मीद लगाए रखते हैं कि लोग हमको अप्रिशिएट करेंगे। कई बार ये भी सोचा जाता है कि मॉन्क्स बन जाए और नन बनने से सारी हमारी प्रॉब्लम सॉल्व हो जाएगी, कि हमें स्पेशल ट्रीटमेंट मिलेगा। लेकिन वहां पे भी हम एक ग्रुप का, एक कम्युनिटी का भाग है, तो वहां पे भी ये सब लोग धर्म चलते रहते हैं। और कुछ लोग जो बाहर से लगता है बहुत कॉन्फिडेंट है, लेकिन अंदर से बहुत ईगो होती है, और ईगो का जो कंस्ट्रक्शन है, जो उसके आयाम है, भय के, क्लेशों के, नाना प्रकार के जो क्लेश हैं, वो सब उसके अंदर रहते हैं। और जब हम साधना करते हैं तो फिर वो उस तरह की एनर्जी बाहर आती है, और जब ज्यादा एनर्जी होती है तो उससे हम चीजों को दबाने की कोशिश करते हैं। और कई बार हमको इस बात का बोध ही नहीं आता, सजग नहीं होते। तो ये बता रहे थे कि शुरू में जब नन्स वगैरह बनी थी तो इस तरह की काफी परेशानी आई, लेकिन अब तो ट्रेनिंग काफी सुचारू रूप से चलती है, तो दिक्कतें कम होती हैं। और ये जनरली देखा गया है कि जो थेरावादा मॉन्क्स या नन्स बनती हैं, वही लोग होते हैं जो इंट्रोवर्ट होते हैं, एक्सट्रोवर्ट नहीं होते, क्योंकि एक्सट्रोवर्ट के लिए चुपचाप बैठ के शांता करना काफी मुश्किल काम होता है, और इतना रेस्ट्रेंट रखा जाता है, इतना संवर किया जाता है, वो करना भी काफी मुश्किल होता है। तो अपने उदाहरण बता रहे थे कि शुरू में जो 4 औरतें वहां नन्स बनी थी, sīladhārā बनी थी, उनको किस तरह की दिक्कतें आई। और मेन उनका यही हमारे लिए मैसेज था कि हमको जीवन और मेडिटेशन को साथ साथ रखना चाहिए। उनको दो आयाम नहीं बनाना चाहिए कि जीवन एक है और मेडिटेशन दूसरा है, और जब भी परेशानी आए तो चलो अब हम किसी तरह से जीवन से हटके चले जाएं, फिर हमारी मन शांत हो जाएगा, फिर हम ठीक से प्रैक्टिस करेंगे। इसके बाद अभी तो हमको ये सीखना चाहिए कि हम सिचुएशन में रहते हुए कैसे प्रैक्टिस कर सकें। सिचुएशन से दूर हट के प्रैक्टिस करना एक उतना लाभकारी नहीं होता। तो बता रही थी कि जैसे मोनास्ट्री में हम रहते हैं तो वहाँ पे भी एक परिवार की तरह ही है, इतने कई सारे लोग हैं, और जो हम गृहस्थों को परेशानी वो महसूस होती है वो वहाँ पे भी महसूस होती है। गुस्सा भी आता है, लोगों पे बेचैनी भी होती है। और तो उस मामले में उन्होंने बताया कि अजान सुमेधो की जो शुरू के पीरियड में ट्रेनिंग देते थे वो काफ़ी डिफिकल्टीज वहाँ क्रिएट होती थी, तो उसके लिए वो अलग अलग तरीके निकालते थे। एक तरीका था कि जो भी परेशानी है जैसे, तो उसको याद करके उसको कॉन्शियसली ले आए, अवेयरनेस में लाएं। मान लीजिए कोई साथी है जिसके प्रति हमारे मन में गुस्सा है, बेचैनी है, नफरत है, तो वो ये विचार रखें कि मैं इस प्राणी को नफरत करती हूँ, और उस बात को धीरे धीरे कॉन्शियसली माइंडफुली लगें। और जब हम उस बात को 10-15 बार बार कहेंगे तो देखेंगे धीरे धीरे जो वो फीलिंग्स है उस तरह की वो समाप्त हो जाती हैं, और एक जैसे स्मॉल बाना वाली बात, छोटा सा एक कूलिंग हो जाती है मन की, तो एक निर्माण का एक छोटा सा वर्षन समझ लीजिए वो बता कह रहे हैं। क्योंकि हर कम्युनिटी में, चाहे वो गृहस्थ हो चाहे प्रवर्जित हो, हर तरह की परेशान, हर तरह के लोग होते हैं। और शुरू में तो बहुत सारी क्राइसिस आती थी, और क्योंकि लोग अभी सीख रहे थे, एक दूसरे पे चीख रहे हैं। एक ऐसे भी सज्जन थे जो उनको लगता था वहाँ पिंड पाठ ठीक नहीं है, तो 1.5 घंटा ड्राइव करके लंदन जाते थे पिंड पाठ के लिए। फिर एक और उदाहरण ने बताया कि अमेरिका से कुछ डाओइस्ट लोग आए थे जो वहाँ रहना चाहते थे मोनास्ट्री में, तो उनको फॉरेस्ट में कैरावान में रखा, तो वो कई बार विचित्र हरकतें करते थे जिससे उनको काफी परेशानी होती थी। और उसके कारण भी जो सीखने को मिलता था, कभी भय जग रहा है, कभी गुस्सा जग रहा है। एक बार वो रात को 2 बजे उठ के, जो लोग मोनास्ट्री में चैंट करते थे वो रात को 2 बजे उठ के अपने तरीके से करने लगे। तो इस तरह के दृष्टांत अजान हमें बता रही थी कि कई बार तो गुस्सा ऐसी बातों पे आता है जिनका कोई औचित्य ही नहीं है। जैसे बता रही थी कि कोई एक नन प्याज किस तरह से काट रही है, वो उनको ठीक नहीं लगता, तो उस बात पे गुस्सा आने लगता है। और एक और कारण जो गुस्से का है कि जब किसी को रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी दे देते हैं तो वो उसको इतना सेल्फ पर्सनली ले लेते हैं कि उससे वो बाकी सारी चीजें भूल जाते हैं, और जो रोल है उसको महत्व देते हैं, और अपना जो ह्यूमैनिटी है वो पीछे छूट जाती है। फिर उसके बाद उन्होंने एक एक्सरसाइज कराया कि हम भी ये करके देखें कि कोई इमोशन जो हमको बहुत चीज याददाश्त है, जो मेमोरी हो किसी की जिससे हमको बहुत इमोशन जागता हो, तो उन्होंने आंख बंद करके हमसे वो एक्सरसाइज करवाई और कहा कि देखिए उससे लाभ होता है कि नहीं। तो इस तरह से उन्होंने बताया कि इस तरह के जो प्रैक्टिकल टिप्स हैं वो भी काफी हमको हेल्प करते हैं, ताकि हम जो विकार है जो उसका उदय और उसका व्यय दोनों देख सकें। तो जो निरोध की बात है उसको देखने का एक सहज तरीका भी इन्होंने अजान सुमेधो ने बताया, तो वही उन्होंने आपसे हम सबसे शेयर किया था।
So it's getting close to 8 o'clock. Can recap a little bit, just So, you're all probably quite tired. It's a long day, isn't it? And also there's been a lot of talking, question, answer, discussion and so on today. That was brought as kind of in a way pointing out that the mind, don't expect the mind to be so different or to be to bring about a life that's going to quickly sort of become exactly what you wish to have, you know. in my life, when I see the life of Ajahn Sumedho or the life of people around me over a period of decades, my own life, quite quite a test all along. Quite a challenge. It's really not easy. It's amazing what the past can throw at you. Along your life as a human being in a robe. So if it does that to you, don't be surprised. You are in a much more complex world with a lot of people quite uncontrollable or have no control over themselves. Now who are not particularly ethical or caring, or who do not have a sense of responsibility for their life. So the world is really difficult. Don't if you can ride on the wave of the world of samsara, you can try. See how it goes. Some people have better conditions than others. There's no doubt about it. We're all born in different conditions, different difficulties. But whether you're rich or poor, healthy or unhealthy, intelligent or stupid, we have the perks of those, those good aspects, for a while. But really, they don't last so long, especially as you awaken to the life, to your own life, as you become more conscious and aware, then you certainly have to return to the base camp, which is your mind. Base camp. So this is what we do every day. When you meditate, you go back to base camp. So how's things, start again. And then you develop the quality of patience, develop the quality of discipline to get up in time, to do your practice daily, to remember what is really worthwhile to do in life, to remember, that your mind is a great creator of problems and difficulties, and like to complicate things when I pointed out several times it's much more simple than you think. What makes it difficult is our ability to proliferate endlessly without even knowing quite clearly what we're saying, Once a thought pattern, sort of start, it's very difficult to stop sometimes. I know now I've trained myself to not go with thoughts, but it takes a long time to not be carried away by the thought that are fueled by the feeling, and the feeling is fueled by a story, and on and on. It can go on and on for a long time. So, now you know it already. I'm not saying anything that you don't know yet, You all know all that. But it's a constant, we need to be reminded and remind ourselves, when somebody can remind you is gone, then you have to do it to yourself. Yeah? So, I think we'll stop at that, and Mr. Da.
Sorry, before we close. So today, earlier in the day, you mentioned that in Buddhism, any request has to be made 3 times. So yesterday we made a request on behalf of the women here, and I make that request once again to seek your blessings. The request is to Dr. Dhar to have a sīladhārā order in India whenever we have a monastery. And unlike the times of the Buddha, when the women could come to the fore much later, we request that as and when the order of monks come up, that is when the order for women also come up simultaneously or as soon as possible. Of course, yesterday you mentioned that the conditions may ripen in whatever time it takes. So that's not a consideration, but just wanted to make that request nonetheless, because we have a very strong intention in the women in the Aranya Vihara Sangha.
That's the second time, the second request, so be prepared, there'll be a third one.
Request should be made to her, no?
You don't have to make Mr. Da responsible for everything, you know. Otherwise,
please make request to her.
So,
Most sīladhārā in the tradition. Please make request to her.
so my apologies. I do not, I'm not well versed with the custom
it's kind of quite
itself.
loud for me. Yes,
I'm
hear
not
you.
well versed with the custom itself, so my
Yeah.
apologies. So
It's
I make the first request
Yeah.
to you today.
Yeah, the second. So I can transfer from
We
Mr. Da
can-
to me easily.
All right.
It's all right.
So
Yeah.
Thank you. That's very kind of you.
Yeah.
So a formal request to you on behalf of the women of the Aranya Vihara Sangha.
Well, you have to wait until you have a monastery already.
Sure.
And it's quite likely that we.
She may say she probably wants that we should have first sīladhārā and then.
That's sir is projecting that on me. So sorry, but
Well, it's okay. Okay. Well, people can have fun, can't they? So, it's a lovely intention. It's a lovely wish. And, there are causes and conditions. Why did we turn up at Chithurst in 79 when nobody was expecting us, and I didn't want to be a nun particularly, And so you can see the causes and conditions were somewhere in the air because it wasn't planned, So see what happened, obviously if the intention is there, right now we also you have to also realize that you're not just part of a group of women and nuns, we're also part of Ajahn Sumedho and Ajahn Sundara tradition and Ajahn Amaravati and in the senior nuns of the community. Also, all of us have a say in it. And right now, I told you that we have a hard time filling up the 2 places outside of Amaravati, So make sure that we're trying to create a community where people feel comfortable to train for a few years, which there are very few communities in the world to do that, for women. So it's such a good training. It's a very, it's a good, it's a deep training, and not many people even get it. People tend to, travel or do what they have to do, and it's quite hard to stay with Western nuns, Western women. So, they don't spring up like mushrooms, they have to, it's just mysterious how people comes and goes. Some people go, we just had a nun who ordained in June, and she left in October. Many people really want to be nun. Many people want to be anagārikā and nuns, but how many stay? That's another story. Do you understand? Because to stay, you have to really, in a way, it's something beyond you even. You have to really, I don't know, it's mysterious. I don't know why I'm still here myself, but I certainly have had an incredible challenge, it's amazing that I didn't give up so many times, But, as I said at Ajahn Sumedho, if I had to do it again, I will do it 1,000 times. It's been worth it, It's been worth it. So, for women to come, you can just wish that you become a good nun, and then see what happens. But I appreciate the fact that it is it can be anguishing that there's nothing set up for nuns, it's a shame. But now we can actually help, the women to have places, But even in England, it's not filled up. A beautiful monastery in Scotland, beautiful monastery in the south of England. Yes? Well, it's hard to fill them up, so you can't expect people to be here. And please do not make Mr. Da responsible for the absence of nuns, otherwise you will shorten his life if you do that, worried and anxious, because women are quite powerful, you have to be careful. Yeah, no, it's just if it happens, it happens. I think there's a willingness in the area.
Aranyam Vihara Sangha.
To trust, to help the women. I mean, look, we are here, 3 of us, not just one. That's a good sign, isn't it? I mean, and so you should just also, these things happen when there is positive energy as well. If you have a group of women complaining all the time, nothing is going to happen. That's when the disaster. Right? It doesn't work. You have to come to this in a very organic and kind way. No, it's not a kind of. Can you stop the video, please? Yeah, thank you. Well, what I mean is that